Howdy-o, it's your boy Q, and today we're going to be going over tone suck and what exactly causes it, the whole tone suck thing, and a very easy, cheap solution I came up with just to show you it's really not that deep. Let's get to it.
If you made it this far, welcome to the Q Show. Gonna learn a thing, it's probably in the title.
Alright, first off, I'm sure you've all heard about this nebulous tone suck thing, but what does it really come down to? What it comes down to is a lot of Boss pedals Boss being perhaps particularly guilty of this, use a lower input impedance than an amplifier. And that actually directly affects the pickups on your guitar. There's something called load. It only occurs between your guitar and the first thing it plugs into. After that, the pickups are not directly interacting with things further down the chain. So when people talk about how guitars sound so much better just plugged into an amp, there actually might be a little something to it. Most guitar amplifiers have an input impedance of 1 mega ohm, which is almost like no load on the pickup. Furthermore, if an amp has a tube in its preamp, that creates its own thing that the name of will appear here that will actually further enhance the high end of the instrument. But obviously we all love pedals. What's an easy way to fix this? So what you kind of want to do is recreate that initial load situation right after in the guitar, like right after it comes out of the instrument, before it hits any other pedals. So I've created here a scenario that sort of simulates that, and you're also going to hear how subtle this is. Like, by the time you reach the end of a mix, I don't know if it matters so much. I could see it mattering for certain tones, and you'll see what I mean in a second. All right, first things first. Boom, we've got our tone suck machine. HM3, I love it. And what do we have here? We've got an extremely simple circuit. And it's literally just plugged in here, and we've got a whole resistive, so we have a pot and a resistor that is going from tip to ground. This is an effort to adjust the load of the pickups to be a little bit closer to what's going on in an amp. So we've got a mega ohm here. This is 100 kilo ohms. That's not really relevant. The resistor is doing most of the heavy lifting here. I just have the pot so that we can turn this on and off easily. So right now we have it set where it is not affecting the circuit at all. So this is effectively does not exist. And let's hear what it sounds like. Cool. Now let's add that in, and we're going to see if this brings any magic. All right, so let's do a second demonstration, just some little whatever double stop stuff with it out of the circuit, and then we'll add our little load corrector thing in after. All right, we'll add that in. So, the first thing you're probably noticing is if you don't hear anything at all, this is extremely subtle. Like if you're not listening to these demos on a good sound system, like probably not your phone, I'd be surprised if you could hear any difference at all. That's how subtle this is. But when you're totally absorbed in your instrument, you get really passionate about the little details, and I could see this being really helpful in those situations. There's a DoD pedal. Let me see if I can find it here. There's a famous DoD pedal that is known for adding a sparkle to your sound. And it's because it actually has an input impedance that's super high. And there we have it. All right, what'd you think? I feel like it's I feel like it's a cool thing to know because, you know, knowledge is power, but the thing that I personally take home from this, and I think other people probably should too, is that it's just really not that deep. Like I wouldn't get too crazy investing like insane amounts of money in a buffer. I've seen buffers going online for like hundreds of dollars, and it's just insanity to me. And that's not to say that an active buffer doesn't have things to offer, etc. But the core of it is here, and it's just not that deep. All right, cool. Thank you so much for watching as always. I'm Q. Oof. And this was the Q Show.